Hello and welcome to another edition of True Audiofiles. My name is Jim Carter, and today we're going to actually have a video that I recorded of an interview with Rock and Matthew, who are the owners of Triple Play Records in Grand Junction, Colorado. Technically, Rock is the owner. Matthew is the son, who is the general manager. So it's a great interview, kind of on the long side, so I'm going to be splitting up my videos this week, as part of it is going to be going over the interview, and the other part will be what I actually picked up while I was there. So I hope you enjoy the interview, and please, if you like what you see, please subscribe and like the video, and then hit the alert bell to let you know when I will be doing more videos. So on to the video of the interview. All right, we're here with Matthew and Rock from Triple Play Records in Grand Junction, Colorado. First in a series of my many interviews I try to do with the record stores that I try to visit around the country. So I want to first take the time to thank you guys for taking a couple minutes to talk to me. So
no problem.
Yeah, thanks. So why don't you guys give me a little bit of a brief history about the store, and
Yeah, it's old steam heat. You hear that? It sounds like a rattling snake or something. But,
well, you know, I started buying records when I was 11 years old, and a friend and I were listening to records, and I was working for a radio station in 1986, and we used to get together and have a few beers and listen to vinyl, and we lamented the death of vinyl, according to the record labels.
Yep.
And I had kind of wanted to always try to start my own business, and working in radio gave me more courage, because I learned a lot of things about business and how they're run, and talking to other business owners and the training to sell radio. I got really good training. So in 87, got the idea to open the store, went to the folks, and they helped out get it started. Little did I know at the time that just basically enough money to hang myself, because we were financially, underfinanced, undercapitalized, whatever the word is, for a while. But we opened in 88 in May, kind of we're going to show you that vinyl won't die. And then Rolling Stone came out shortly after that and said that, there were 80 million turntables in circulation, that 20% of those folks would always buy vinyl. So we felt like there was always hope.
Yeah.
And we started in 88 and struggled for about 20 years, just kind of up and down, hoping that vinyl would take off again, trying to deal with the CDs and the record labels' incompetency.
Yeah.
And how they handled their product, especially when it came to independent stores like that. And fortunately, we were buying from labels like Alligator and Blind Pig and Vanguard and some of the folk labels. I can't remember the other one. I can see the label, but I can't remember it. It was an East Coast folk label. But anyway, a lot of those, we could buy some of their stuff direct, and no one else in town had that, so that kind of helped us get our foot in. But we really started to take off when he came in and started helping me, and I can't remember what year that was, but you can take it over from there.
well, I never saw the first store, but I've heard rumors about it. The second store is just across the street. We can see the front of it, and it, when I was a kid, was just there and hung out, and more after school. I went to school down here at Holy Family when I was South Campus, and just walk down after class and play with the yo-yos. The record store was cool. I didn't really understand
His big sister helped out, 5 years older than he is. He was born after the store opened. She was born before, so
Okay.
we took quite a gamble there with a young family for me to start this business. Fortunately, my wife's always had a pretty good job.
That store, the records were in the back. It was like a cave, and we had CDs and posters and cassettes, new cassettes, incense, stickers. It was very small. It wasn't so inviting. It was very bright colored, blue and yellow. And when I was in high school, I think I was a senior or junior, we moved over here. So the whole football team helped us move across the street.
Cool.
2006 is when we moved over here.
Okay.
This place was empty when we filled it with that stuff. We couldn't fill the whole place. We thought about bringing a coffee place in and stuff, and today you can't move around.
Yeah.
We started selling golf discs over there, and that moved over here, and it grew. And
He went away to college for a year, and then came back in 2009. And I was considering closing the store. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, he's
and,
right.
And we kind of made a pact that
was
he was going to go back to school here at Colorado Mesa, and he said, I'll help you while I'm going to school. Would you keep? And I said, well, I'll keep the store open at least until you graduate. And when he started really helping me part-time and then full-time, the sales really started to take off because he knows what the kids want. I mean,
that helps.
Well, in high school when I graduated, I didn't know what I was going to do. It was possible I was going to go to Greeley, I was going to go to Denver. I was looking at different schools. We went down to Gunnison, and I decided to go to Gunnison because I have uncles in Crested Butte, his two brothers who also own businesses. And I was going to work for him. Well, the football team got hold of my film, and my parents were with me on Welcome Week, and they offered me a scholarship, so I couldn't turn it down. Yeah. Well, the whole season was colder than you don't even want to know. And we won 2 games against 2 small teams. Anyways, I wanted to get out of there. I was here every weekend anyways, and Rox was telling me about closing the store, and I said, no, I'll take a year off and come help you. Well, a year turned into 4. 4 years out of school. He said, Matt, you got to get a degree. You can't take over the store. So he said, is this really what you want to do? Well, I didn't know. So I went to school, business, a wet business. I had to declare a major because if you don't, it takes you much longer. I've learned the hard way.
Well, let me interrupt him again. I kept telling him and his sister that I wouldn't give the store over to anybody that didn't have a college degree. And after I told that to him for the 30th time, he finally said, well, what if I don't want to do that? And I said, well, that's my whole point. You go to college and find out what you want to do, because this was my dream, my passion. It doesn't have to be yours, which it turned out, and lucky me.
Well, yeah, because I finished.
He's going to end up with it someday, and
I finished with entrepreneurship school, and the best business I said to buy an entrepreneurship school was one that was already going. I was like, well, duh, man. Why would you do anything else? So he's taught me his passion for giving music and finding music for people.
And the culmination of this was in November of 2019. We actually became owners of this building.
Oh, nice.
And
that helps.
So what I started to raise 2 kids turned into something I could never dream of would happen, and that's what's going on now. And we wouldn't have been able to do this without our customers and customers like you. And one thing I like to say to people is, when you first start a business and it's your idea, then it belongs to you, and you tell all your friends and relatives, and they're all excited for you, but they really aren't the ones that make it. Yeah. And once you do start to become successful, your business really belongs to your customer, and you're the caretaker. And if you don't believe me, just quit taking care of it and watch them go somewhere else. So we continually grow. He knows how to sell Imagine Dragons, who I would have no idea who it is. I can sell, Jackson Browne and
jazz
and modern jazz quartet and things like that. But it's a great mix, and we're lucky. This is the town I was born in. I couldn't have dreamed of anything more. I'm gonna let him carry on with you a little bit.
Good.
I'll see if I can help this bit.
Oh, and after going to school, my 5 or 6 year venture, I came back and went full time here, and then I got bored after a year, and I went and I got my culinary degree, my 2-year certificate. So I've got that. Also, as an entrepreneur, you're always wanting to do new things and exciting things, and I feel like food is not there in this town. So
when you got a lot of competition there too.
Not that I want to open a restaurant, maybe.
Yeah, it's tough.
Some food products. Or
well, and I would think,
or something.
Yeah, I would think that the restaurant business in this area, just from the brief time I've been here, would be pretty tough, just because there's a lot of competition too.
Yeah, there's certain types of food that's not offered here yet.
That's true.
So there are openings in the market if you do it right and do it small scale to start. But
cool.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. So, what would you say are your biggest sellers in terms of from a musical standpoint, like genre wise?
Classic rock, of course.
I know, because he doesn't like the way.
90s and early 2000s and current hip hop sells really, really well. Metal and punk are hard to find, but they also sell well. Reggae does well. Jazz. Country is coming out of our ears, but it still sells. Certain titles, soundtracks are really. Yeah, kind of everything at this point.
And do you think that Record Store Day really helped you guys in the beginning, at least when it first started?
The first couple of years, I don't think we participated very much because we weren't too confident in it. And then we got behind it with an event, press releases, getting the news down here every year, twice a year now.
Yep.
And yeah, just awareness. I used to put posters between Eagle and Green River and gas stations for that event, just so we could get people to know it. Run into it randomly, they'll see the poster.
Yeah.
It's worth it 50 cents if you're traveling that way.
True. So do you feel that it's still something that is worth the time to do, or do you find it more of a hassle nowadays?
Posters?
No, the record store.
Oh, no, it's definitely worth our time. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. The bigger towns are, people from bigger towns like Denver say that it's just insane. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They don't want to get hurt. So they actually travel here to our store to
Nice.
get releases. It's just a matter of how many we're allocated.
Yeah. Well, that's the tough
Lots
thing.
of rules.
You probably find you get them shorted quite a bit on the record store day stuff.
Yes and no. They do really well with it. You know, they've had their own problems just like us, but they are doing a great job. And it just depends on your distributors and who you buy from and all of that. And there's rules involved, and we love those rules because it protects us as the seller. So we love Record Store Day.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, because I kind of heard, like there's the big record stores that are still independents, like Newberry Comics, which is actually someone that I visit all the time because it's close to me.
Right.
And Bull Moose that tend to, I've kind of heard that they kind of get the a vast majority of what they want, but then the other
It's all
smaller
numbers.
ones
How many people are in their town? What's the income levels? Is there a college? There's a lot of factors that come into it. We've always been a small town store, but with big store ideas. We do a few things different, but he started the same year, Twist and Shout, and then the guy in Castle Rock, Bogies West, started. They all started in 1988, the same year. It's kind of crazy. But
And now, are those neither of those guys are around anymore?
they're
are they?
both around.
Oh, are they?
They're
Okay.
both open. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I think if there's what other things I could possibly think of. And I'm just based on the sheer look of things. I'm assuming your bigger business when it comes to records, anyways, is the used stuff.
New vinyl has been growing. We've doubled our new vinyl in the last couple of years, and we're trying to find more room for it as well. It's because Record Store Day, and then there's constantly new titles being reissued on vinyl. Music from the late 80s to the 2000s was very rare and hard to find on vinyl, and now things are being reissued that were put out.
Yeah, that definitely does
those
make it
times,
nice. So you have to spend $90 to $100 on a '90s pressing of something.
Yeah, because they didn't make very many.
And he understands the internet and the way to promote this business, like things
That's
that
key.
you can't teach people that just come to him because he's done it so much. My
Yeah.
mom says the same thing about me cooking. I've never had any formal training. She says, well, you know how to do things that I know I never taught you. Well, that's just something I love to do. And he's really good
Sounds
at
like
that.
he is too.
And he is. And that's what's grown this business as well, is his ability to promote. Like, we get a brand new box of records in, and he'll price them and put them in one of those flip bins and do a video and put it online.
Yep.
And I tell you, people are like,
That's huge.
can I get that record? Will you hold that record?
It helps me. I mean, my local store, he does that same thing, and when I see that stuff, I'll ask him, "Hey, how much for?"
Where's your local
something?"
store?
I live up in Connecticut,
Okay.
so right outside of Hartford.
Wow. That's
Yep.
where Steve's from.
Oh, yeah?
One of my buddies that's out in Palisade he sells some vinyl out there too, not a lot. He has a secondhand store called Everything Collectible, and he's from I forget which town he was from, but they used to sneak into Yankee games when they were kids. He told me and he's a little older than I am, so
You guys were in business together. That's what's called
Yeah.
Triple Play. Used to sell business cards. Baseball cards.
Yep.
Business cards. Baseball cards.
Yeah, I remember them actually. Yep.
But so it just the promoting side of it and having things that people want and continually having something different is what really helps. But
Well,
his marketing sense is great, and then of course the training in college didn't hurt him a bit.
No.
Well, and half the people that taught me in college, he knew or went to school with.
And we get a lot of
at some
compliments
point.
from people who have been around and seen a lot of record stores, and they give ours pretty high ratings. I mean, we don't do that to ourselves.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And I can say that I can't even count how many record stores I've been to, and I mean, you guys definitely everything is awesome here, and fair pricing. You
We
price
work hard at that. Yeah.
and and because that's tough. And I've actually seen a big trend lately where some stores, including my local one that I love, is doing. Most people tend to go by get Discogs obviously as a reference point, and it's been a case where most of them have been kind of going with the median price and kind of pricing it around that. The trend's been going now more where they're kind of going in between the median and high price on Discogs now, though I've noticed. So that's been the trend.
We heard that from someone else as well about their record store, that the prices went. Ryan said he went to Denver and somebody's prices went up. Didn't he? Mm-hmm. I don't know which store it was, and I'm not going to mention it.
Thanks for the recommendation.
You're welcome. That's
I'll be on
great
on
news.
Friday.
Thank you.
New vinyl and corporate stores help us, and the thing about them is they only can order a select few, so everyone has Elton John's new greatest hits, and they all had Amy Winehouse, and they all had Abbey Road, but they don't have Freddie Gibbs or Dr. Dre or Notorious B.I.G. because they're either their structures aren't set up to want to sell those things, or someone's pushing a button somewhere. But
they're looking at
we're able to get you what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think
we listen to the customer.
Yeah, I think a part of that also is they look at their trends and it's like, oh, well, we don't
this
sell
is a
that,
sure sell.
Or I won't sell that within a couple months, so I don't want to have it in my store type of a thing too. I would assume that probably plays a role from the purchasing people of the bigger chains and stuff. Yeah.
And one of the things that really kind of helps us in an advantage, and you can attest to this, is we're kind of an oasis here in a really wasteland of record stores. There's not a lot around us, so we get access to a lot of vinyl. I mean, we get access to a lot of collections and a lot of records, and we never have to go anywhere to buy vinyl, and people can come in here and find something that won't sell here that's valuable and to them. But to that end, we've been selling some things on eBay because we bought a super large collection
a
year ago, and we just started really in earnest in mid-November, and it's been good for us.
Now, do you wait like a couple months of owning it before putting it onto eBay to see if your local people?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
For the most part,
we did.
If it's something completely obscure that we just, but anymore you can't really tell. You just can't. I mean, we had things on the wall where it's been there for 5 years, and someone just comes in and they've been looking for it for their entire life.
Well, you don't know. Get someone like me who is from out of town. They found out that you guys are here, and you see it.
But we bought so many records. We have so much back stock in the back of the store. There's
tremendous.
Just and that's been because I bought everything that I thought was good and clean at a point to where I turned down copies of Rumors, and now I wish I had them all because we can't get them used anymore. They're just
they're starting to dry
there's
up
more and more of them that are drying up. Than it used to be. We had 20 copies of The Wall or 20 copies of the White Album.
Yeah, Pink Floyd, I would say, it's Pink
Tom
Floyd
Petty,
especially. Yeah, Tom Petty too.
You never have all of Petty's records. Now that they're reissuing them, the new ones are coming out. I don't mind them. I like the sound on some of those new records, and I've had them since I was 11. That was 1969, and after a while, if you play them enough, they're not going to sound good no matter what they are.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you have to replace them, even original copies of. And Ryan is into collecting the original copies of some of these jazz records, and that can get super expensive.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not outrageous for it to be $100, $150 or more.
Oh, way more. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen that. Some of those ones that he wants.
Cassettes, yeah. Are you guys really starting to see a uptick in cassette sales?
Yeah, a few people spend over $100 on cassettes just because they don't have anything in their car. The used ones too. That's a lot of used cassettes.
I've never been into cassettes. I used them for a while because they're portable, but
it's nostalgia.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I'm with you.
Well, I think I'm gonna close up because I don't want to take up any more of your time. But
you're good though. We appreciate your time.
How are you guys today?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good.
Just trying to think if there's anything else that I want to ask because I'd asked him about Record Store Day. I was kind of curious about your take on how it's treated you guys.
Well, once we got really into it, the first year or two, I kind of didn't know what the hell was going on, so I didn't order anything.
Yeah.
And we didn't have anybody come in. And then once he started getting involved and getting promoted, it's grown every year. And I mean, it's been our last year's Record Store Day was the best Record Store Day we've had, and I'm guessing that this year will probably equal that, if not eclipse it, because our inventory continues to grow, and we try to do other promotions and things that we just have 30 years of rock and roll posters in the back, And now we just bought this poster rack, and we're going to start buying frames and start selling some of that memorabilia before it gets lost for good or torn up. And
Nice.
just, it's nice now to have the help. There's so many things that I wanted to accomplish when I ran the store by myself that you just can't do.
Yeah.
And you know, trying to get a handle on a record to a point to where if we sell you a copy of Belladonna, if we have one in the back, we can have it out here
Yeah.
in 20 minutes and priced and back out. And that's really huge because I've seen us sell multiple copies of certain used records in any one day now. It never used to be that way.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
sometimes I couldn't go through my inventory for 3 months. I just had to buy it and
Yeah,
then
it's
wait.
just a crapshoot.
Yeah, so we've got it to a point to where it's getting pretty good and organized because we've got some vinyl junkies that'll come in and sort records in the back, you know, and work for a trade for a little bit or
Oh, that's
whatever,
cool.
you know, and it helps us. And
Very
it helps
cool.
them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, you guys, I really appreciate your time, and thank you for the great stuff that I got. And hopefully I'll be coming back here sometime soon, and I'll come back and visit. So
Sounds good. Please
Thanks a
do.
lot.
Yeah.